Can three generations talk music and all agree? Probably not. Every day is a story. I'm Shannon Cason. Make sure you like and subscribe. I was doing some ballot initiative work in Detroit. I'm civically active. I have my concerns about my community, and I try my best to be active in a positive way. That's just the way I live, and I think that that's a good way to live. And it seems that other people think in that same way, and I was working with some people I had just met. We were all in a room, and we were organizing signature sheets. And one of the guy, it was an older guy. He was about 75, dressed in khakis and a sweater, like older guys dress. And one was a younger lady. She was around 35. And she was dressed more professional, like she worked at a nonprofit, and this was just some work she was doing on the side. And then there's me, 50. I'm dressed like this, like I'm always dressed. And we're in this room, and it's bone quiet while we're all in our zones, and we're doing our specific tedium. But it's work that needs to get done. It's tedious work that you got to do, but it's boring. And someone came in the room and noticed the silence and asked if we wanted the speaker to listen to some music. And we all shrugged almost simultaneously, like, sure. Now we have to figure out what station to listen to. So the conversation turns to music. And it got deeper than I expected. But mild-mannered, civically minded people love their music. I know I do. So the older guy started talking about music, and he told us a story about when he crowd surfed at a concert in Detroit. And he asked if we knew about the Shelter, and I know the Shelter well. I used to go to the Shelter to go to hip-hop concerts when I was young, growing up in the 90s. My crew, my hip-hop crew, actually performed at the Shelter. But I didn't mention any of that. I didn't interrupt the story. I just said, yeah, I heard of it. And he went on this story about when he took his kids to the Shelter. He had a son and daughter, and they were enjoying the music. And I forget the group it was. He had mentioned this group called Neutral Milk Hotel. I don't know the group, but his daughter went to the bathroom, and his son went to the back bar. There's a few bars at the Shelter. He went to the back bar. And while they were gone, he fought his way up to the front of the stage. And while he was there enjoying the music, someone looked at him and motioned for him to go up in the air. So he went with it. And there he was. He was crowd surfing. So they held him up there, then let him down. Then his daughter comes back from the bathroom, and his son comes back from the bar. And he told them what happened, but they didn't see it, and they didn't believe him. So we all laughing about it or whatever. But then we start to talk about subgenres of music, not the main banner at the top, but the subgenre under the umbrellas of certain genres of music. So not pop music, but indie pop, like Billie Eilish, and K-pop. My daughter loves K-pop. I guess she just loves pop music, but she likes all these subgenres. K-pop, New Jeans, or synth pop, which I don't even know what that is, but the lady has said Depeche Mode fits into synth pop. I don't know if that's right or wrong. But I was vocal about the music genres that I know well. Like I know R&B, I know soul, and I know hip hop. But there are subgenres, variations, neo soul, D'Angelo, rest in peace D'Angelo, funk. You got the Ohio Players, of course, Parliament, and then trap soul, which I love. I kind of love trap soul, which is like black. I don't know if Bryson Tiller would be considered trap soul. I would think so. And then you got the 70s soul, which Marvin Gaye, Temptations, all that stuff. Then hip hop, old school, Run DMC, boom bap, Gangstar, DJ Premier, the conscious hip hop, Common, Mos Def. West Coast, of course, Snoop. But then West Coast has its own genres. Like E40 is more like the Bay Area, you know. Then trap, drill, Young Thug, Chief Keef, all that kind of stuff. So we get to rock eventually, and we're talking classic rock, And the guy is mentioning, the older guy, he mentioning Pink Floyd. And then punk rock, they're talking about The Clash. I like punk rock, but I don't know it really well. Grunge. I went to this event that was talking about grunge music, but I only know the basics, like Nirvana, Alice in Chains. And then the old guy mentioned Yacht Rock. And I'm like, what the fuck is Yacht Rock? And honestly, I thought he said Yacht Rock. Yacht, like Y-A-D rock. I was like, what is that? But he said, no, yacht, like the boat, Yacht Rock. And the 35-year-old lady, she was into it. She was like, yeah, let's listen to some Yacht Rock. And the older guy, he was like, yeah, let's do some Yacht Rock. So I'm like, go ahead with the Yacht Rock. I don't know what it is, but go ahead with the Yacht Rock. So the older guy said to the young lady, because she was typing it into her phone hooked up to the Bluetooth speaker, he said, start it off with Criss Cross. And I'm like, Criss Cross, that's hip hop, Criss Cross. He said, no, Christopher Cross Sailing. And when he said the name, it kind of sounded familiar. And then they put it on, and I knew exactly what I was in for. I love that song. And that's on my chilling playlist at home. I listened to that one. I didn't know it was a subgenre called Yacht Rock. And sailing, take me away from all this blah, 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 blah. I mean, you can't listen to that song Sailing and not feel the wind blowing through your hair. I'm bald. And we're in a nondescript office complex basement. And we all felt the wind blowing, sailing, take me away. So we went on our tour of Yacht Rock, all jamming, all having our own memories. So the moment of meaning for me is it doesn't matter where you're from, what your differences are, what generation you're in. We all relate when we hear good music. But what about you? Are there popular songs from your past that aren't really top of your playlist or the kind of music you usually listen to, but when you hear them, you think, why am I not listening to that song or that genre of music more? For me, it was Yacht Rock. What's your story?